Preface, Introduction, and Translator's Poem. From Gems of Chinese Verse. Poems by various authors. Translated by W. J. B. Fletcher. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. If you would like more information or would like to volunteer, please see LibriVox.org. Preface. What Keats said to Chapman did for Homer is what Fletcher has done for the poetic realm of old Cathay. There is a freshness and a surprise in these lyric gems. They have been read with keen joy. Having finished, then felt I like some watcher of the skies when a new planet swims into his ken. I am no sinologue and cannot vouch for the accuracy of the translations, but I know this is true poetry. So well has the work been done that I am sure thousands of readers of the Occident as well as of the Orient will rejoice with me over the production of this book of verse, and there will be calls for more from the author. H. L. Hargrove, Ph.D. from Yale. Kaifeng, April 1st, 1918. Introduction. It is not without diffidence that I bring before the public this little collection of verses. A translation can never equal the original any closer than paste can imitate the real gem, and this is particularly true of poetry, wherein the cream and essence of a language finds its highest and most ethereal expression. The flower we can draw, to its coloring art can approach, but who can delineate its scent? And thus it is with these translations. I have usually followed closely the original forms of the poem, frequently keeping their meter, but fear that I have lost much of their nuances and fragile delicacy. But indeed the subject is a difficult one, and I shall be repaid for the labor if the average foreign resident in China can glean from my sifting some further insight into the heart and feelings of the Chinese. If Chinese feel that their masterpieces, even in copies, find interest among their neighbors from far countries, sympathy is the bond of human union. The following translations are all from the Chinese poetry of the Tang Dynasty, 618 to 905 A.D., and it is not a little creditable to Chinese civilization that such refinement of thought should be current at a period when the ancestors of Europe were overrun by German barbarians, and the Scotch had perhaps hardly abandoned cannibalism. The poems are essentially sketches of nature, written by true lovers of China's grand scenery, amid ruins of famous dynasties and the memories of immortal beauties. A strain of Buddhist mysticism adds in places its longing for the unseen, the unseeable. One finds in them the sun, the moon, the stars, and the wind on the heath, brother. There is no clatter, noise, steam, or hurry. The authors float in sailing sampans, noiseless save for the rippling beneath the prow, through scenes peaceful and calm. The white clouds pouring like icing down the mountain-sides, the gulls and herons gliding white against the sky, the low boom of a temple gong in some tree-hidden glen, the quiet labors in the plains below, the village smoke curling upward in the temple of nature as placidly as incense spirals about some Buddha's knees, all combine here to form China's great ideal, great charm. Peace. The very poems on the subject of war dwell only on its disgust. There's no girding up of the loins to slay, no enthusiasm for destruction, no great greed for wealth or possessions, no social distinctions of caste. There is just human life portrayed in terms of nature. For in the Chinese language there are practically no abstract nouns, and for such the Chinese has borrowed terms from his one great master, nature. Thus love is typified by spring with its wealth of bursting flowers and sweet stirrings of the sap, old age growing upon us by autumn with its falling leaves and sere complexion. Such allegories I have marked with capital letters, that the reader's eye may catch them the sooner. Let him, if he can, imitating the poets of old, float quietly down the broad waters of the Yangtze, through the scenery of the Min, or over the rapids of the Cassia River. Let him in some lone temple see the moon rise over the tree-fringed hills. Let him, like Manfred, seek the iris of the waterfall, or dream amid the relics of some fallen town. Then he will know the value of the Tang poetry. There will he find peace. To Li Po and Tu Fu. Li Po and Tu Fu, pardon that I come, lone nature's pilgrim from a foreign shore, with you across the misty hills to roam, and see the dragons carry you once more to peaks aflame with sunset, to adore in nature's shrine as ye were wont of yore, to see the iris ride the torrent's foam, and ruins where high mansions stood before, the moonbeams glinting on the broken dome, while some shrill flute the fallen times deplore. Forgive the humble heart and feeble thought, the faltering fingers that the echo wrought of your sweet woodland lore. W. J. B. Fletcher, Fu Chao, 1917. End of preface, introduction, and translator's poem. The Old Pavilion by Li Po, translated by W. J. B. Fletcher, read for LibriVox.org by Kevin S. Where once the ancients said farewell, a sadness on the scene will dwell. We're parted guests, the moon is bright, our torrent bathes their hills in light. The lake flowers bloom in sunny spring, the bamboos nightly autumn sing. We're past and now together met, within my song shall linger yet. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Return with Spring by Li Po, translated by W. J. B. Fletcher, read for LibriVox.org by Kevin S. Fine as the lines in verdant jade upsprouts the grass of Yen. Their growth long winter has delayed, and thou comest when? The mulberries of Chin Lo droop, their branches verdant with new leaves. Waiting the picker's hand they stoop, as I await. Ah, waiting grieves. The spring is come, in thee the thought of home returning too should spring. My heart is yearning, not for naught is hope, nor bitterness to bring. The east wind knows me not, yet blows amidst my meshed curtain's gauze. Is it for you the way it shows, not breathing aimless, lacking cause? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Delights of the Palace by Li Po, translated by W. J. B. Fletcher, read for LibriVox.org by Kevin S. Born through melted snow appears the blossoms of the plum, and to the tender willow leaves the vernal breezes come. Within the halls the orioles with joy delirious sing, as from the caves the swallows greet each home returning wing. With closing of the evening dim the festal flares with light, where to the whirling dancers' limbs fresh flowers add beauty bright. Before the shadows of the night the solemn guards retire, and all the lovely scene dissolves in satisfied desire. The fragrant breeze is pleasant in the pictured silken doors. The glow of dawn is sweet and fresh across the window's gauze. The flowers press up their happy cheeks the beaming sun to view, while by the shady lake each leaf the spring is glossing new. Amidst the verdant trees I hear the birds their carols sing, as o'er the harem's floor the maid's light steps and dances ring. The plum, the peach flower, moon, unite the consort's bower to grace, and in each silken robe dissolved their colors find a place. The color of the willow trees is soft as pliant gold. The pear trees, too, their fragrant flowers in snow-white bloom unfold. The stately mansion holds a nest to suit the halcyon bright. Within its lordly halls the birds of love their hearts unite. A chosen bevy serve about the prince's carven chair, and fill, when bid, the thrilling room with song and music rare. But should you ask, preferred of all who rules this proud array, I'd answer that in Chao Yang court supreme is Fei Yen's sway.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. On the Frontier by Li Po. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Kevin S. 'Tis June, and still on Altai there lies the bitter snow. Amid the chill of winter no happy flowers grow. Although the wailing flute may sing the willow of the spring, the color of the vernal leaves this place can never know. The kettle drum at daylight calls forth to war's array. In midnight sleep our saddles we dare not put away. This cursed tyrant Lu Lan, who us to death would bring, with this good blade within my belt, how gladly would I slay. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. On the Frontier, 2, by Li Po.
Translated by J.B. Fletcher.
Read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. The pillagers of the autumn brings down to loot the land. From homes celestial gather our armies band by band. The leaders split their tallies to make war's orders yare. The warriors sink to slumber on coils of drifted sand. The very moon of heaven is bended like a bow. Upon our swords Mongolian frosts their silver tracery sow. The time is long ere we at last within the walls shall fare. Ah, sigh not, little wife of mine, so mournfully and low. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Absence by Li Po. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org. Our slender moon in quiet wanes away. Around me dully floods the washing bar, nor drops the wind long autumn from its wings, while all my heart is at the frontier far. Ah, when will all our foes be beaten back, and my dear husband finish distant war? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Wife's Lament by Li Po. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. The Wife's Lament. On Yanchi hill the sere leaves quit the tree. This tower I mount to gaze abroad for thee. The sea's white clouds are broken on the hill, as autumn grows in loneness over me. In Gobi's waste the Mongol hordes prevail. Back to the wall the sons of China trail. The guest of battle there his blood shall spill. Ah me, snapped orchid with my lonely wail. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Crows That Caw by Night by Li Po. translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. The crows that caw by night. Through dusty clouds beside the wall the crows come home so late, and cawing fly from bough to bough as each one seeks her mate. The lonely wife was working her silken tapestry. Her window gauze seems mist to her, their cawing words of fate. Her shuttle stops, she sadly dreams of her dear absentee. Her dripping tears confess she feels the house how desolate. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Our Parting at Kinling Inn by Li Po, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. Our Parting at Kinling Inn. With incense from the willow flowers the zephyr fills the inn. A rustic beauty baits the wine and tempts the guests to taste. All kindling friends come hither to speed each other haste. Those leaving and those staying all make the goblet spin. Now prithee ask the river that ever eastward flows, if any parting constant as his he ever knows. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Chang Liang by Li Po,
Translated by J.B. Fletcher.
read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. Before your tiger roar was heard, your house was sold, a home no more. But still by failure undeterred, you sought along the purple shore until a bravo stout you found at Po Long sands to smite the ground the tyrant Chien. Though to avenge the Hans you failed, beneath that stroke the empire reeled. You then in pay your traces veiled, where for long years you lay concealed. If neither craft nor valor might the conflict win for freedom's right, not thine the sin. I come upon the bridge of Yi, dreaming old dreams of long ago, admiring your nobility. But only see the waters flow, still green beneath the bridge they race. Him of the yellow stone no trace is left to me. Sighing I say, this man no more, nor Su or Si today can show. Now he is gone, how desolate the barren shore. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Feast of Life by Li Po, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. The Feast of Life. Seest thou not the yellow river coming from the sky, downward to the ocean flowing, never turning back? How thy hair to grey is growing, sadly in yon mirror spy, snow at eve that but this morning showed so glossy black. Would you taste this life so fleeting, quickly snatch at every boon, leaving not the golden goblet glinting empty to the moon? Heaven has given me these talents, yea, and gave them not in vain. Lo, 1,000 golden ducats lavished greet the world again. These roasted sheep and oxen, slain for some one, make a feast. Our meeting here shall swallow down 300 cups at least. Now, friends, the wine is ready. I prithee, no delay. Incline your ears to listen while I sing to you a lay. Of music and dainties small reck do I make, my bliss to be drunken, never sober to wake. The sages of old have scarce left us a name, the deep drinkers only recorded by fame. When Cheng Wang of old gave his feast at Pinglore, a gallon of wine each aroused their acclaim. The host shall never say that too small is his store, but buy the good vintage and lavishly pour. This gallant bay charger and fur coat of mine, now let the boy take them and change them for wine. The cares of the ages, though many and sore, away will we scatter, and know them no more. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Ts'ung Shan by Li Po, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. Ts'ung Shan. Where a slip of moon aye shines eastward over the pines, where the torrents speak, a mansion of eld have I, 'tis Ts'ung Yang's maiden peak. If magic herbs to find you wander thither, mind the rosy shoots of the flags. Should we each other seek, in life's low eventide, a dragon white I'll ride to yonder sunlit crags. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Coming Down from Chung-nan by Li Po, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. Coming down from Chung-nan. The dusk descends along the verdant hills, over which the moon our footsteps follows back. Gaze up, and lo! The path by which we came winds up the hill amid the greenwood track. As hand in hand we reach the farmer's home, his lads to us the thorn-wove wicket ope. The path overhung with bamboo sprays is dim, green creepers at the passer's clothing grope. Gladly we say, here is a place to rest. The goodly wine in waving circle goes. Our songs extol the sweet fur-laden air, till ere we cease each star but dimly glows. Drunken am I, and you with pleasure too, in pure enjoyment, free from human woes. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Hsi Shih's Wedding by Li Po, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. Hsi Shih's Wedding, a ballad. The crows fly back, perching on Ku Su's high tower, and flushing with Hsi Shih is Wu Wang's rich bower. They sang and they danced, and they merry made still, when half of the sun sank behind the green hill. In golden clepsydra the silver gauge showed how long yet the night ere the shaded hours fly. On the river's low ripples the clear moonlight glowed, but oh, what delight when it mounted on high. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Huang Ho Lou by Li Po, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. The Huang Ho Lou, a farewell ode to Meng Hao-jan. You parted, leaving to the west the Huang Ho Lou, the mists of spring in floating veils descending on Yangshu. Adown the distance faded hence with thee yon lonely sail, to where the mournful river's waves into the skyline flow. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Moon Shines Everywhere by Li Po, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. The moon shines everywhere. Seeing the moonbeams by my couch so bright, I thought hoar-frost had fallen in the night. On the clear moon I gazed with lifted eyes, then hid them full of home's sweet memories. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Boating Party by Li Po, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. The Boating Party. The river clear, the autumn moon so bright, We pluck the South Lake's bridal flowers white. The maiden water lilies seem to speak, and tinge with shame each boat-born wanton's cheek. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Quitting Poti at Dawn by Li Po. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by James White. Poti amid its rainbow clouds we quitted with the dawn. 1,000 li in one day's space to Kinling are borne. Ere yet the gibbon's howling along the banks was still, all through the cragged gorge our skiff had fleeted with the morn. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Kinling by Li Po. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by James White. Of kingdoms 6, their state that raised, in turn upon each other's fall, libations 3 when I have made, a lay I sing unto you all. This garden that is left us now is smaller than the chins of yore. These hills remind of Loyang peaks, are like them, but in number more. The flowers that long ago the Wus had planted by their ancient halls, the silks and damasks that the Qins concealed within their palace walls, with all their human lovers gone, are all extinct in long decay. Old time has washed them to the east, amidst the ocean's waves away. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Mr. Young's Secluded Retreat by Li Po. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by James White. With verdant heads the crowd of cliffs are brushing the sky. So aimless wandering here, one feels not the years go by. I burst through the veiling clouds in search of the ancient way, or lean me against a tree while hearing the torrents play. The warm spring opens the flowers, the fairy ox lies down, the white crane sleeps above on the lofty pine tree's crown. The river gleams with twilight, as now our speech is done. Alone I cross the chilly mist, descending with the sun. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Fallen Terrace by Li Po. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org. Fresh elm and willow barely hide the garden terrace bare. The calthrop picker's singing thrills the clearer vernal air. But ah, the moon that once beheld these halls so gaily thronged, upon the western river shines, its sole companion there. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Ts'ung Shan Cave by Li Po. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Skip. To Ts'ung Shan Cave, so long I have not been. How often have its roses filled with bloom? Its silver clouds all pass away unseen. Descends Diana there? To visit whom? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Lover of Scenery by Li Po. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Skip. All the birds had flown away. One cloud its aimless circle rain, unwearied gazing on each other, it and Jingping Shan. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Age's Rhyme by Li Po. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org. Ah me, to make such length of grizzled hair, how many days it grew along with care! Indeed, how could in this pure mirror show the origin of so much autumn snow? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Steps of Disappointment by Li Po. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. The Steps of Disappointment. The dew forms white upon the marble stair. Our silken socks are damp ere night outwear. Returning, drop our crystal blinds to see the autumn moon gleam through them glintingly. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Kettle Isle by Li Po. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. Kettle Isle. 'Tis night, and on the western stream here swims the Kettle Isle. No cloud to fleck the spotless sky that stretches mile on mile. Within my skiff I float away the autumn moon to view, in idle dreams of him who raised to fame a poet new. A lofty strain I too can lift, but what will that avail? There is no patron now to hear my heartstrings sobbing wail. Our matting sails we raise again to meet tomorrow's sun. As from the tree the maple leaves are dropping, one by one. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Northern Hall by Li Po. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. The Northern Hall. A picture before me the city lies there, seen far from the hills in the dawning's bright air. Clear mirrors, two rivers have here their twin birth, two bridges like rainbows that pair on the earth. In their orange and pomelo groves they are cold, the leaves of the wu-tung with autumn grow old. Who cares that aloft on this north tower I yet dream of the ancients the wind has borne by? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Water Pavilion by Li Po. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. The Water Pavilion. High through the rainbow air this chamber towering see, while intermingle around shadow and sunlight clear. Splashing above the eaves leap the waters of Yan Shi. On Xing Ting cloudy hill down from the windows peer. The gibbon's howl the sigh of the wind has led astray. To the placid moon above the songs of the fishers soar. Free as the seagull sailing we seem to float away. Am I not one of them there that flock on the sandy shore? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Lost by Li Po. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Chad Horner. Upon the clouds I gaze and see thy vesture floating fair. Upon the flowers I gaze and lo, thy cheek is kindling there. The zephyr brushing through the stoop thy footfall seems to be. The dew, so like thy freshness, brings the sense of loss to me. Our broken fates no hope attends, but if on earth we meet no more, await me on that fairy shore. Behind those clouds the moon ascends. a moulded form whose smooth excess sweet fragrance clung around, a dream of rapture magical that made the pulses bound. Her equal in the court of Han as yet had never been. What new attire for Yang Wei Fei to shroud her in the ground? Mid happy flowers the loveliest still is Helen's beauty rare. How often had he smiled to see her fairest flower there, this breath of balm to dissipate what boundless hate arose. The well-remembered arbor floods his heart with scented care. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
To Ho Chien by Li Po, translated by W. J. B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. To Ho Chien. Though anxious office to resign, and private garb resume, your able craft and placid mind must long the court illume. From Mao the wondrous you received the true arcana's art. A home by Tung Ting Lake his grace now grants you to assume. The sky is full of stars, the mist enshrouds Mount Yao Tai tall. From Wizard Peak high lost in space yon islands look so small. The crane that from the tree of pearls never loveth to depart, ah, tell me when it next will fly across the city wall. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Autumn Fan by Li Po, translated by W. J. B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Sandra Schmit. The Autumn Fan. Before my hall, sweet flowers perfume the calm and silent night. I wish to roll the blinds, but am checked by spring's despite. Dimly, guitar beneath my arm, the glancing moon I see. The wavering colors of the trees obscure my lost delight. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. A Fruitless Visit to the Priest of the Tai Tien Hills by Li Po, translated by W. J. B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Sandra Schmit. A Fruitless Visit to the Priest of the Tai Tien Hills. I hear the barking of the dogs amidst the water's sound. The recent rain has washed each stain from all the peach bloom round. At times, amid the thickest copse, a timid deer is seen, and to the breeze in sparkling seas the bamboos roll in green. From yonder verdant peak depends the sheeted waterfall. At noon's full prime I hear no chime of bells from Arbor Hall. Whither the wandering priest has gone is no one here can tell. Against a pine I sad recline, and let my heart o'erswell. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. A River Melody by Li Po, translated by W. J. B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Sandra Schmit. A River Melody. With cornel oars, our skiff of mountain pear lightly glances o'er the lapping waters. At the bow, a flute of echo fair, at the stern, a pipe's melodious air mingle with the song of beauty's daughters. Here are copious flasks of vintage rare. Why then would we quit this world of care? Need we wait to mount some fairy crane? Free as seagulls float we o'er the waters, idly floating on this shoreless main. The songs of famous singers live as long as sun and moon shall circle in the sky. The halls of pride, now strewn the hills along, proclaim that every other fame shall die. To such rapture even mighty mountains stir and sway their weighty bulk again. In the fairy islands of the blessed lives forever each immortal strain. But sooner could flow backward to its fountains this stream than wealth, and honors can remain. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Return to Wen Chuan by Li Po, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher, read for LibriVox.org by Sandra Schmit. The Return to Wen Chuan. 12 leaders of the cohorts passed along, as ordered stars deck out the skirts of night. Beneath the harvest moon, there glittered bright as frost the keen steel of the moving throng. Like moonbeams draped over clouds, the banners flew. In awe respectful, every door was shut. Through boundless space the music sounded up. The breath of perfect morn caresses blew in wanton airs around our prince, the good and true. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. To Have Loved and Lost by Li Po, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher, read for LibriVox.org by Sandra Schmit. To have loved and lost. Last night the wind of spring laid bare the peach flowers of the well. Before the palace soared the moon with radiance clear, but fell. Within his room the actress maid his shifting love had won. Without, the silken robe he gave could not the chill dispel. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Soft stillness and the night become the touches of sweet harmony by Li Po, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher, read for LibriVox.org by Sandra Schmit. Soft stillness and the night become the touches of sweet harmony. From what clear flute, unseen, these flying trills with which the wind of spring the city fills? Amid the strains, the flower is plucked anew. In what sweet garden, how my bosom thrills! End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Reinforcements by Tu Fu, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher, read for LibriVox.org by Kevin S. At dawn the camp I enter by Loy Ying's eastern gate. At eve upon the floating bridge I stand to meditate. The rays of sunlight glint upon the banner floating wide. A shrilling wind and horses' neighs resound on every side. A myriad tents in ordered rows are set upon the sand, the men each other hailing as each one quits his band. In mid-sky high suspended the moon is sailing bright. This discipline makes desolate the loneliness of night. With wailings intermittently a mournful reed pipe sobs. Disheartened seem the warriors, no breast with ardor throbs. Were someone now to ask me who may the general be, at random guessing I would say some flaunting co is he. End of poem. This recording is in public domain. Tu Wei Pa, of that ilk, by Tu Fu, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher, read for LibriVox.org. Like stars that rarely see each other, in life we do not often meet. What eve is this that brings us now together, where these bright candles greet? Our youth, our strength, alas, how soon depart! Our beards, our hair are streaked with flecks of gray. Of friends we visit, half have passed away. The sudden news catches the thrilling heart. How tell that 20 years would first be sped ere I should again enter into your hall? For when I left you, you were still unwed. Lo, now your boys and girls are growing tall. Their father's ancient friend with pleasure see, and whence I hither came, inquire of me. Unfinished question and reply remain. Your children come to set the broth and wine, a turnip fresh cut after last night's rain, and steaming rice so fine. Then says the host, when shall we meet once more? With goblets 10 he pledges me again. 10 goblets leave me sober as before, so deep my grateful memories him retain. Tomorrow by the cragged hills disparted, unconscious of each other, widely parted. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Hsi Shih by Tu Fu. Translated by W. J. B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org. As beauty is of all the world admired, obscurity no longer her could hide. That morn a maiden washing by the brook, that eve a prince's bride. In humble state how different from the rest! When fortune came they noted her how rare. Attendants then she had to tire her hair, and aiding hands arranged her silken vest. Her lord's love sought to aid her beauty fair, in all her flaw his tenderness would hide. The comrades who were washing by her side might not attend her in her chariot there, when she their busy offices declined. They that they could not frown like her, repined. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Qian Chao by Tu Fu. Translated by W. J. B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org. This temple to the north of Chenchao walls is said to be the home of former kings. About its age creep moss and slimy things, the colors peeling from its empty halls. The dew-pearl leaves against the moonbeams play. The mountain breeze the clouds across it brings. The river turns in mere contempt away, and eastward from this sullen sorrow flings. Where myriad peaks in wildered chaos peer, covered with clouds, although no wind be near. In rock-strewn valley cowers this lonely town. Ere night the moon will o'er the pass appear. In yon far country why so long delay? He comes not back who Lu Lan went to slay. Across the clouds of dust and mist I stare, whose broken soughings brush my face all day. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Unable to visit Judge Wang owing to rain by Tu Fu. Translated by W. J. B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org. On a houseboat sleeping by the beach's side, moonbeams glinting on the shingle-washing tide, a sudden gale arises and leaps the faring light. The river hisses as the rain comes streaming through the night. When dawn awakened the temple bell, the sky is full of cloud. The banks are wet, and from afar, about the hall of rocks, a shroud of mist veils floating are. As with our sweeps we leave behind the wheeling gull's domain, your virtues I perceive, alas, I never can attain. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Runners of Shih Hao, An Incident of Civil War by Tu Fu. Translated by W. J. B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. The Runners of Shih Hao, An Incident of Civil War. The twilight gloamed. At Shih Hao Ts'un I stayed. Night soldiers brought the inmates to arrest. The old man leapt the wall and fled afraid. To meet them issued his old wife, distressed. Shouted the soldier's tones in anger strong. The woman's voice was broken with her woe. I heard her say that her 3 sons had gone to war at Ye Cheng. They were forced to go. that two were dead, the last one rode to say, and he in constant jeopardy he rode. Those dead were gone forever. Ay, 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 with what a choke the words tore up her throat. Within the house there now was no one left, only her infant grandson at the breast, and his poor mother, thus of all bereft, in worn and tattered robe was scantily dressed. The poor old soul, enfeebled, aged, and worn, through the dark night must with the soldiers go. Her enemies, with agitation torn, to cook a meal she hurries to and fro. Their voices sound, the lengthening hours consume, and weeping dies in strangling sobs away. The light returns, as I my road resume, but sad farewells to that old man I say. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Lost Beauty by Tu Fu, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher, read for LibriVox.org by Kevin S. Cut off from all, my beauty only left. My gloomy dwelling is a hollow vale. I sighing say, mid trees and grass, ah me, what can my parents' goodly name avail? Within the wall old days are swept away. My brother's lofty rank could naught prevail, for they are slain, our scattered flesh and bone unburied lies, all left me to bewail. The world's desire is overborne by woe, the fate of man a candle's flickering light, and my betrothed, alas, the wanton boy has made a lovelier face his heart's delight. It's time of flowering the hibiscus knows, the birds of love depart not in the night, but when he sees his new bride's happy smile, the old love sobbing is forgotten quite. Upon the hill's pure breast the spring is clear, but turbid when the hill it leaves behind. My maid returned with food my pearls have bought. The flowers I pluck I place not in my hair. The cypress leaves my idle fingers bind. To this chill air my green silk sleeves are thin. Mid bamboos tall my fading day declined. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. A Farewell by Tu Fu, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher, read for LibriVox.org by Kevin S. Chow Fu is shaking his head. No longer he wishes to stay. Eastward is going to follow the sea and the mist away, leaving to heaven and earth his verse as a monument to fish by the coral trees that grow in the argent bay. He flies the monstrous route that haunts the marsh and deepest hills. The windy scene of early spring the shadowy twilight fills. The weaver maid her cloudy car from lost Atlantis guides to point through space his wandering, lest fear his spirit chills. His essence born in fairyland, from whence can lightly fly, though mortal reason failed to see wherein the power lie. Alas, that still he hovers o'er the bitterness of death, yet wealth and honors are but dew the rapid sunbeams dry. Our prince with kindness to his friends his flowing bounty shares. The night was clear, the wine was set before the palace stairs. The music ceased, in parting sign, the moon the banquet lit. How many years before from space his message lulls my cares? To caverned you southward go our friendly Po to see. I beg that you will bear to him a greeting kind from me. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Chariots Go Forth to War by Tu Fu, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher, read for LibriVox.org. Chariots rumble and roll, horses whinny and neigh, footmen at their girdle bows and arrows display. Fathers, mothers, wives, and children by them go. 'Tis not the choking dust alone that strangles what they say. Their clothes they clutch, their feet they stamp, their crush blocks up the way. The sounds of weeping mount above the clouds that gloom the day. The passers-by inquire of them, but whither do you go? They only say, we're mustering, do not disturb us so. These 15 years and upwards the northern pass defend, and still at 40 years of age their service does not end. All young they left their villages, just registered were they. The war they quitted sees again the same men worn and gray, and all along the boundary their blood has made us see, but never till the world is his will Wu Huang happy be. Have you not heard, in Shantung there 200 districts lie, all overgrown with briar and weed and wasted utterly. The stouter women swing the hoe and guide the stubborn plough. The fields have lost their boundaries. The corn grows wildly now. And routed bands with hunger grim come down in disarray to rob and rend and outrage them and treat them as a prey. Although the leaders question them, the soldiers' plaints resound, and winter has not stopped the war upon the western bound. And war needs funds. The magistrates for taxes press each day, the land tax and the duties. Ah, how shall these be found? In times like this, stout sons to bear is sorrow and dismay. Far better, girls, to marry to a home not far away. But sons are buried in the grass. Yon Sidam's waste survey. The bones of those who fell before are bleaching on the plain. Their spirits weep our ghosts to hear, lamenting all their pain. Beneath the gloomy sky there runs a wailing in the rain. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The River's Brim by Tu Fu. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Sophia Solaris. One day of spring went stealing to Chang'an's riverside. An ancient rustic weeping, to check his sobs he tried. The palace doors are firmly locked beside the river's brim. Do willows slim and rushes put forth their green for him? He sees again, sadly, the rainbow banners play, and all the southern garden reflecting love's array. And Yang Kuei Fei the lovely beside her lover ride, together in one chariot, attending at his side. Before the chariot eunuchs their bows and arrows bear. The courser champs his golden bit, she turns her body fair. And looking up to heaven, with one bright smile she brings from out the clouds a captive of love with beating wings. Those eyes so bright, those teeth so white, today where may they be? The place her blood defiled her soul again may never see. As eastward through the gorges the shining waters bore, so flowing on or stopping, these lovers meet no more. Ah, man is born for loving. My breast is wet with tears, with river grass and river flowers, if ended all our fears. Amid our country's twilight the Tatar horsemen ride. Their dust clouds fill the city, the very roads they hide. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Homesickness by Tu Fu. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Sophia Solaris. Upon the river's whiteness the birds more clearly fly, and with the greenness of the hills the flowers more brightly vie. In gazing on them all, the spring is slowly passed away. The day that brings me home again, how long will time deny? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Tai Shan by Tu Fu. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Sophia Solaris. Of Tai Shan what can one say? Here Liu and Qi for a freshly their youth retain. Here heaven and earth unite, spiritual grace to form. As a pole of shade and light, it sunders the dusk and dawn. Soaring through layers of cloud, at sight of it swells the breast. At a glance the eye can view the birds coming home to rest. But climbed the uttermost peak, all other hills seem small, as the eye o'erlooks them all. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Duke Wu's Temple by Tu Fu, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. Duke Wu's Temple. The long deserted temple has lost its red and green. Upon these hills all overgrown, no passer-by is seen. Though still resounds the vacant air with Wu Hu's last farewell. He rests no more at Nanyang, devotion's closing scene. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Music of the Spheres by Tu Fu, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. The Music of the Spheres. The flutes that pipe in Chin Cheng town confuse the light of day. Half lost in clouds, the river breeze the one half bears away. Such music is confined to heaven, for spirit ears alone. How rarely can mere mortals catch the echo's distant play. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Thoughts of Home by Tu Fu. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Chad Horner. Thoughts of Home. Amid the jade-green willow trees, two golden orioles sing across the clear blue sky. A flight of soaring egrets wing. The sighs of chilly autumn that breathe eternal snow from Orme's lofty mountain about the casement flow. Ah, would that they could take me back the 1,000 miles and more, from hence to home, those goodly ships that anchor at my door. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Crescent Moon by Tu Fu, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Hopeforce One. The Crescent Moon. The crescent moon desired to mount on high. Its slanting course never grew to orbed sway. A little while it peered above the hill, then lost in cloudy sunset passed away. The Milky Way no change of color knew, no lofty peaks gleamed chiller for its spheres. The dews that fall so white within the court, the flowers' cups swept full with quiet tears. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Recording by Hopeful Swan. To the Moon by Tu Fu. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Hopeful Swan. To the Moon. The autumn drawing up along the night. Amidst mankind the moon casts shadows bright. The toad sings not amid the Milky Way. His elixirs the hare pounds on for aye. All brings but sorrow to my heart sincere, and makes my whitening hair more white appear. Over all the earth resound loud war's alarms. Illume no more, O moon, these traitors' arms. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Recording by Hopeful Swan.
The Tatar Horse by Tu Fu. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. The Tatar Horse. A Tatar horse from Derbent, all slimness, muscle, bone, by ears erect like bamboo shoots, its fiery spirit shone. Hoofs swift as wind, that spurn at space in rapid light career, fit to be trusted with your life in peril far or near. Ah, since a steed like this you own, of such a haughty strength, to burst across 1,000 miles were but a journey's length. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Pounding the Clothes by Tu Fu. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. Pounding the Clothes. That from the war you would not come, alas, too well I knew, and I must scrub the washing stone for autumn's use anew. The bitter winter drawing on, the months of cold are near, and since we parted, ah, so long, the days so lone and drear. To pound these clothes, such weary toil, yet how can I refuse? Then send them to the wall, somewhere, where may you be, I muse. My woman's strength is all worn out, but not my anxious care. Can you not hear the pounding drub come echoing on the air? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Harvest Moon, 15th of 8th Moon by Tu Fu. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org. The flying mirror of the moon is dazzling in mine eyes, but broken like a sword, my hope the distant home denies. I come from wandering o'er the earth, a creeping weed am I. I seek the elixir of life, but ah, your heaven is high. These moonlit waters one would think were made of frost and snow, while in the woods each feathered bird the piercing moonbeams show. Upon the rabbit in the moon I stare, and gazing dote, as though I hoped to count the hairs upon his snowy coat. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Waning Moon, 16th of 8th Moon, by Tu Fu. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org. Last night poured forth the moon's bright golden waves, and all shall tell how pure this autumn's dew. The mountains seemed to spread across the earth. The Milky Way flowed past high heaven through. Fuel seekers from ravines with songs return. A lone flute in the town its woe uplifts. From dreams disordered starts the fisher boy. At midnight's hour across the stream he drifts. End of the poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Fading Moon, 17th of 8th Moon by Tu Fu, translated by W.G.B. Fletcher, read for LibriVox.org. The autumn moon is rounded still this night. At Chiang Tsun I pass my lonely age. I roll the blind, she yet pours down her light. She follows I my staff-brought pilgrimage. Her piercing beams the hidden dragons know. Her radiance wakes the fluttering birds from rest. In orange groves stands my thatched bungalow, all purity in this fresh dew expressed. End of the poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Setting Sun by Tu Fu, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher, read for LibriVox.org. The curtain hooks were gilt as sunset sank. Springtide along the torrents turns to gloom. Wafts from green shores yon garden's sweet perfume. The gatherers of fuel their meal to cook have stayed their vessel on a sandy bank. The shrieking birds that fight to settle there fall down, and all about the garden look. A cloud of insects flying in the air. O muddy leaves of vine, who made you so that one deep draught will scatter all my woe? End of the poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Pillar of the South by Tu Fu, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher, read for LibriVox.org. Down to the utmost southern verge, high dignity has gone. The greatest minister of state thy writing birth on. From halls of ceremony called the glory onward flows. How many barbarous nations greet thy tablet as it goes. About yon travelling gammon what flowery gums exhale, as southward bound through drizzling mist bears that spring-laden sail. But ah, alas, how can I tell when from the purple sea the destiny of heaven will send you back again to me? End of the poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Boating Party by Tu Fu, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher, read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. A Boating Party. At sunset it is well indeed to let the shallop go, when lapping waves before the breeze along the water flow. For here are bamboo thickets green, the wanderers to hide, and fit is evening air to cool the vestal lily's side. The youthful prince is splashing up the water's chilly waves, while lily roots with silken threads the lovely maiden laves. Two's company, lo, over my head an inky cloudlet lowers. 'Tis sure the rain that bends me over my poem ere it showers. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. An Autumn View by Tu Fu, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher, read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. An Autumn View. Across our view no bounds clear autumn throws, yet massed shades along the distance rise. Yon waters take pure colours from the skies, o'er yon lone town the veiling mist wave flows. The few last leaves the breezes bear away, yon hills though far, behind them sets the sun. Ah, why is not, lone crane, thy journey done, when all the woods with dizzy cawings sway? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Yo-Yang Tower by Tu Fu. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. Yo-Yang Tower. Long since the fame of Tung Ting Lake I knew. At last from Yo-Yang Tower its truth I view. To south and east 2 countries it divides, while earth and sky swim ever on its tides. No friend and no relation here engage. This lonely boat my all in sickly age. The war horse tramps the hills twixt home and me. Yea, over this rail my tears fall bitterly. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Snow at Changsha by Tu Fu. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. Snow at Changsha. Out of the north the snow is assaulting Changsha. Its clouds over Hunan go, where few snows are. A myriad homes makes cold, far borne on the gale, with scattered leaflets old, where raindrops hail, not grown to flake like flowers. Empty of angels pale, flecks it my purse, yet a silver pot may bail credit for wine. No one to fetch it? Why then I drain off the froth. Must I wait again and again, till the dizzy crows come home to their roosting bowers? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. A Farewell Ode by Tu Fu. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. A Farewell Ode. The world is full of battle. Why wilt thou ride away? Thy friends all weeping round thee, because thou wilt not stay. And yet your horse you saddle for yon lone city grey. The leaves are falling, falling, the year is waxing old. The mountains and the rivers the frosty snows enfold, that parting but of yesterday taught how they felt of old. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Passing Shower by Tu Fu, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Chad Horner. The Passing Shower. At evening, o'er the village a sudden gust arose. The darkened court the rain has soaked in passing by. Before the sunset now the grass is steaming dry. The river's bright reflection on my fair lattice glows. My books are all disordered, who else can put them straight? The cup that now is dry myself can fill again. I often hear the whisper that brings the moment's hate. Then wonder not if age from intercourse refrain. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Kindly Rain by Tu Fu, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Chad Horner. The Kindly Rain. The kindly rain its proper season knows. With gentle spring, aye born in fitting hour, along the wind with cloaking night it goes. In moistening fine inaudible it flows. The clouds the mountain paths in darkness hide, and lonely bright the vessel's lanterns glower. Dawn shows how damp the blushing buds divide, and flowers drop head heavy in each bower. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Geese Return by Tu Fu. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, B.C. They tell me that the geese this spring from far Canton their journey wing. The flowers they see and bid farewell to the warm ocean's southern swell. By low Fu hills they sail along until the melting snow be gone. Such things the soldiers' spirits feel
and hopes of home they sadly steal. Yet frost and mist from year to year these hills dispart, retaining here the geese that never should have crossed the lakes where autumn brings but frost. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Dawn by Tu Fu. Translated by W. J. B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. In Po Tea Town, the watchman's rap is over for tonight. On Yang Tai Hill, the dawn grows up from darkness into light. Upon the lofty mountain peaks, the sunlight glances chill. Below o'er massed ranges sleep, the night dark cloudlet still. Above the river's bank, up peers a slowly gliding sail. The day so clear makes audible each falling leaflet frail. Beside the gate of woven thorn pass by a pair of deer. Ah, could I join your troop to go where fairies linger near? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. My Reflection by Night by Tu Fu. Translated by W. B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. Some scattered grass, a shore breeze blowing light, a giddy mast, a lonely boat at night. The wild-flung stars o'erhang all vasty space. The moonbeams with the Yahtzee's current race. How, by my pen, can I to fame attain? Worn out, from office better to refrain. Drifting o'er life, and what, in sooth, am I? A seagull floating twixt the earth and sky. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Pair of Swallows by Tu Fu. Translated by W. J. B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. A pair of swallows startled me at my Passover meal, that to the northern hall some mud were bearing for their nest. Me, doomed till cooler autumn come in sweltering clime to rest, until with them I fly away this damp and heat to feel. The little ones in the world are born twixt earth and air, their parents here to bear them a weary journey wing. To them above, to me on earth, may autumn freedom bring. Then also I with them can fly this outland of despair. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Hall of Harps by Tu Fu. Translated by W. J. B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. That long excess at Mao-ling had constant sickness brought, and yet the princely Chow Wen his dearest friend he thought. Amidst the herded world of men a tavern must he keep, o'er him as o'er his hall of harps the clouds of sunset creep. The rosettes that their cheeks made fair, the wildflowers yet retain. The colors of their silken robes our modern creepers stain. But ah, the burden of his song, the phoenix seeks his mate, no more is heard, and fading hence, left echo desolate. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Temple to You by Tu Fu. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, B.C. Behold the temple to great Yu, betwixt two hollow hills. The sun slopes down behind it, and the breath of autumn chills. Yet orange tree and pomelos droop round the lonely halls, and dragons, gods of waters, writhe about the ancient walls. And all about each vacant room white misty cloudlets curl, as far along the silver sand the river waters purl. By boat, by cart, by sledge, by pile, he labored long ago, to pierce these distant hills and guide the triple river's flow. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Imperial Tombs by Tu Fu. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, B.C. The girdle ornaments are chill of those that serve about the tomb, lost in the chamber's vaulted gloom, and there the hall of state is still. But when the wind of autumn sere comes wailing through the palace drear, the moon o'erpeers the land of Chin, now sloping down unto the west. The dragon pool comes creeping in the ancient building to invest. Another day of travel done, we anchor with the setting sun. The water clock with dripping clear, and then marks out the passing time, and in my memory rise anear those gardens glittering white with rime. 1,000 miles away I view the tombs and yellow hill anew. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Mockingbird by Tu Fu. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, B.C. What? Is the mockingbird come? The spring, he comes to say. The spring is here today. All sounds, all words he knows. His feathers preen how he will. He is the same bird still. Where flowers most thickly screen, difficult to be seen, his very notes deride the topmost boughs between. If out of time he chide, lo, slander at your side. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Thinking of My Brothers on a Moonlit Night by Tu Fu. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, B.C. The war drum booms, all roads are bare. One wild goose clangs, 'tis autumn there. Our nightly dews hence will be white. On our old home the moon is bright. Brothers have I all scattered far. Homeless, how know if still they are? Letters I send, but none reply. Is this not war's sad tyranny? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Bride's Lament by Tu Fu. translated by W.J.B. Fletcher, read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. Where choked with hemp and weeds the dodder grows, it lowly creeps and hides its drooping head. Your daughter better to have cast away beside the road than to a soldier wed. As your young wife I dressed my maiden hair, yet had not time, alas, to warm your bed. At twilight married, dawn brought sad farewell, short hours of hurry that too quickly fled. Hwang indeed is not so very far, that frontier post to which your steps are sped. But how can I before your parents serve, ere yet our marriage rites are finished? Both day and night my parents kept retired, my tender life until the maiden's due. The time arrived that I should married be, then my old pets accompanied me too. Beside the realm of death you live, ah me! My heart is wrung with anguish and with rue. In hesitation trembles all my frame, and yet I swear I long to go with you. Upon our recent marriage do not dwell, set all your heart your duties stern to do. For if your wife were with you in the host, in vain I fear would arms or glory sue. Alas, that I, of humble parents born, too long have tender silk and samite worn. My thoughts no more can silk or samite sway, as my sad tears wash all my rouge away. I lift my eyes to see the birds that fly, both great and small, all pairing in the sky. All human things the gales of fate constrain. Ah, were I only joined to you again. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Chang Sung by Tu Fu, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher, read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. The sunset reddens o'er the lofty peak. The sun steps down the level plain to seek. The sparrows twitter on the wicker door. Home, yet so many miles have left me weak. My wife and children start to see me here. Surprise scarce vanquished wipes a furtive tear. To think that swept by anarchy away, yet chance returns me to each bosom dear. The garden wall with neighbors' heads is lined. Each breast surcharging breaks in sighings kind. All night beside the candle's beam we sit, as though in dreams and absence still we pined. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Firefly by Tu Fu, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher, read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. Born from rotting grasses damp, still the daylight thou must fear. On my scroll thy tiny lamp scarcely lets the words appear, but on strangers dressed from far shinest thou a tender star, or when wind borne on the gauze of my window making pause. Small thy phosphorescent beam, as a fairy's eye doth gleam. From the rain you safely hide in the woodland undescried. But once November's frosts are chill, thou leaf-like fadest from the hill. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Hwa Gung by Tu Fu. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, B.C. Returned from years of exile, lo, I find the fir trees groaning in the dismal wind. Beneath I know not what lost prince's hall, the field mouse burrows in the shattered wall. The rooms are dim and baleful corpse fires glare o'er mouldering walls and streak the murky air. The bamboos sob a note of piping wail through autumn's gloomy damp and misty veil. To yellow clay each lovely maid is turned, my foot the sherds of ointment boxes spurned. And where the prince's chariots once were seen, stone horses now watch where his tomb has been. Upon the grass the singer now must sit, to pour with tears the hoarseness of his song, and ponder how to deep oblivion flit the men who rode the paths of battle strong. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Milky Way by Tu Fu. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, B.C. Often hidden, often bright, clearest on an autumn night, sometimes covered with the shroud of some fleecy streak of cloud. Yet when past thou dost appear, all the night both bright and clear. In and out thy starry doors fly the fairies of the sky, for we see them opening, closing, as each spirit passes by. Thou descendest with the moon down the high Empyrean hill. Ah, but thy most precious boon, when thou holdest breathless still, lest the weaver maid might miss her herd-boy lover's annual kiss. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Flower Love by Wang Wei. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org. Dost wonder if my toilet room be shut, if in the regal halls we meet no more? I ever haunt the garden of the spring, from smiling flowers to learn their whispered lore. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Life's Road by Wang Wei. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org. 'Tis time to say farewell. My horse I stay. The palace moat is chilled as if with woe. Before me stretch the hills in grand array. Went you with me, it were no grief to go. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Today by Wang Wei. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Chad Horner. I had lately removed back to near Meng Chien Valley. A few ancient trees, some waste willows were left. But he who comes after me, what will he find here? Why yearn for the glories the years have bereft? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. A Silent Night by Wang Wei. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Chad Horner. My idle days are counted by the falling cassia flowers. Upon the hills the spring alone records the noiseless hours. At sudden rising of the moon, loud shrieks each forest bird, and yet amid the vernal streams their song is often heard. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Form of the Deer by Wang Wei, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher, read for LibriVox.org by Chad Horner. So lone seems the hills, there is no one in sight there, but whence is the echo of voices I hear? The rays of the sunset pierce slanting the forest, and in their reflection green mosses appear. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Moon by Wang Wei, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher, read for LibriVox.org by Chad Horner. In bamboo thicket hid, sitting alone am I. First my guitar I strum, then stop to whistle a while. Amid the grove so thick, no mortal can me spy, but we behold each other, indecent moon and I. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Hunt by Wang Wei, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher, read for LibriVox.org. The bows of horn are twanging, and bitter blows the north, as from the town of Wei Chang the hunters issue forth. The hawk's eye gazes keenly across the prairie dry. The snow is gone, and lightly the horsemen gallop by. To Sinli town we sweep along, then back to Hsi Liao. Lo, where we shoot the eagle rolls the clouded sunset now. End of the poem. This recording is in the public domain. Xiang Qi Temple by Wang Wei, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher, read for LibriVox.org. For Xiang Qi Temple, seeking far and near, over cloudy peaks for miles I wandered lone. In this old wood no human tracks appear, in hills so vast how trace the bell's deep tone? Huge boulders swallow up the bubbling streams, in chilly gloom the firs the daylight snare. The pools along sink to the twilight's beams, here meditation rules each hissing care. End of the poem. This recording is in the public domain. Chung-nan Hill by Wang Wei, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher, read for LibriVox.org. The mighty hill of Chung-nan is near to Xi'an town, and sloping to the river, its skirts go pouring down. I gaze about. On every side the white clouds gird the sky. On near approach no verdant lawns among its masses lie. The peaks from every point of view their melting outlines change. In each ravine the light and shade through many colors range. And should you wish a house to find where you the night may pass, they only know who o'er the stream come up to cut the grass. End of the poem. This recording is in the public domain. My Villa at Chung-nan by Wang Wei, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher, read for LibriVox.org. In middle age I loved to walk the path of Buddhist lore, a home I've made these latter years on Chung-nan's frontier hoar. As prompts the mood, I ever come to wander here alone, where all the pleasure that I find is mine and all my own. Some stream I follow to its source, and there I set me down, to watch the clouds came drifting up across the mountains brown. Perchance some aged rustic may light upon me there. Forgetting time, we chat and laugh, oblivious of care. End of the poem. This recording is in the public domain. So farewell, and it forever, still forever fare ye well. By Wang Wei, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher, read for LibriVox.org. Quitting my horse, a cup with you I drank, and drinking, asked you whither you were bound. Your hopes unprospered, said you turned you round, to sleep amid the range's outer ground. You went, I asked no more, the white clouds pass, and never yet have any limit found. End of the poem. This recording is in the public domain. Late Summer by Wang Wei, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher, read for LibriVox.org. The vacant hills are fresh with recent rain. The coming autumn threats in evening's chill. Amid the firs the moon peeps in again. Bright flashes o'er the stones each mountain rill. With chat of maids who take their homeward way, their washing done, the bamboo groves resound. The fisher's skiff the lotus brushes round. The water ripples as they stir and sway. Although the fragrance of the spring be gone, yet nature's lover well may linger on. End of the poem. This recording is in the public domain. A Mountain Retreat by Wang Wei, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher, read for LibriVox.org. Over against the Chung-nan hill, she shyly peer my roof of thatch, the whole year round so lone and still, no stranger's hand will lift the latch. Time is my own to idle here, in pebbled rills the fish to catch, or quaff a flask of vintage clear. Come thou and share my simple cheer, one moment's pleasure snatch. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Waiting by Meng Hao-jan, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher, read for LibriVox.org. The evening sun the western hills has crossed. The crowd of valleys are in darkness lost. The moon's night's coolness heralds o'er the pine, while rills and breezes pipe their music fine. Those seeking fuel have almost all gone home. The birds are settling in their leafy dome. Beside the pathway all with creepers dressed, my lonely harp is calling you to rest. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Springtide Dreams by Meng Hao-jan, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher, read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, B.C. In springtide's dreams the dawn is sweetly drowned, till everywhere the songs of birds resound. I heard last night the rush of wind and rain. How many flowers have fallen to the ground? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Crossing the Siang at Night by Meng Hao-jan, translated by W.J.B. Fletcher, read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, B.C. Night though it be, o'er the waters of Siang, to cross by the ferry the traveller longs. He knows by their fragrance the pear trees in blossom, that some gather lilies, he knows by their songs. By lights on the shore is the bold helmsman steering. The fisher boy sleeps in the mist on the lake. The voice of those passing is heard in the darkness. To Sen Yang I pray you, which way should we take? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. On Jun Chu City Wall by Chiu Wei. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, B.C. At eve the wanderer climbs the wall beside the river's brim, the wall upon the bound of heaven where all looks wildly dim. The islets float almost awash upon the vernal tides. The male and female rainbows a dying shower divides. A distant bird, a lonely sail, afar off I can see. The rising mist curls close beneath a solitary tree. The hills beside my native place I cannot view aright. Those ranges west of Kinling have cut them off from sight. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Pear Tree by the Side Door by Chiu Wei. Translated by W.J.B. Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, B.C. Thy beauty pure outmocks the driven snow. About our robes thy wafted fragrance clings. The breath of spring has never ceased to flow. Towards the palace steps thy scent it wings. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.